How to overcome imposter syndrome and start selling wildly your online course or coaching program. Hi, my name is Zakkery, and here on this channel we discuss how to succeed in digital marketing industry, specifically in online course launches. I've been doing that for more than 8 years. My company currently serves clients, online educators who need help in acquiring customers for their coaching programs or online courses. I provide marketing and sales services, and this channel is the place for me to contribute and give back to the community and share my experience for free. I've paid for my education for more than $200,000, and that only for the last 3 years. And I know a lot about how to succeed in the industry of digital marketing, and specifically in the niche of online courses. On this channel, you will find step-by-step guides or specific instructions, a lot of documents that you might use in order to increase the sales of your products. And who knows, maybe this free video will encourage you to start freelancing in digital marketing. Today, I would like to talk about the imposter syndrome, because this is one of the obstacles in front of online educators, and I would say that 60% of those online educators cannot overcome the imposter syndrome. Even if you see online educators who are constantly posting on social media, who are showing up on the conferences, who give speeches, they still might have that imposter syndrome that prevent them from jumping to the next step of their career. And this is a huge obstacle. I think we need to talk way more about this topic because it's a sharp one. Let me know in comments, do you have imposter syndrome or not? How do you think? I had one in the past and I still have imposter syndrome. Now, for me, the imposter syndrome is a kind of a fuel that drives me forward to the perfection in my work. But I've learned how to control it and not to be stuck in a perfectionism and not to prevent some not ideal work to be posted or to perform and generate the revenue. So the main idea of this video is to help you to turn your imposter syndrome from something that is an obstacle on your way to some other thing that inspires you and ignite your expert knowledge in order to achieve more in your niche, in order to be more professional in what you are doing, but not to be afraid to speak up and not to hide your perfect expertise and experience from this world. I do not support the idea that we need or that we can get rid of imposter syndrome once and for all. I support the idea that we can turn the imposter syndrome into something that drives us forward and makes us more professional. So the step number one that we need to do is to check ourselves if we have imposter syndrome or we don't. Here are 5 questions that you need to answer as a first step for identifying whether you have imposter syndrome or not. The first one, do you often feel like you got lucky or don't deserve your achievements? Second one, do you often downplay your achievements? Do you fear of being exposed as a fraud? Do you feel like other people overestimate your experience and abilities? And the last one, do you avoid taking on new opportunities because you doubt your ability to succeed? That's a strong one, right? Now, be honest. Answer me in comments. Have you answered at least one time yes on these questions? If you need to go through them again, just pause the video, play back, and go through each of the questions. This is important to understand whether you have imposter syndrome or not. The second step that helped me a lot is to create the diary of achievements. Right now, we do this video at the end of the year, and it is a good time to go back and revise what you've achieved within the last 12 months. You can either separate your achievements within groups, career achievements, personal achievement, financial achievements, family achievements, or you can just write whatever pops up in your mind. Write the diary of your achievements, not failures. In my situation, the problem with the imposter syndrome has started way long ago. In my childhood, the teachers all the time underlined with the red inks in my tests and writings what I've done incorrectly. All the mistakes that I've done were underlined or circled with the red inks. And the problem is that none of those teachers underlined all brilliant ideas and brilliant solutions that I've provided in my tests and writings. They could at least underline it with a green ink, right? But unfortunately, they didn't do that. And a lot of educational systems all over the world support these education methods that from early childhood, we pay attention more to the failures and mistakes that we do than to those brilliant things that we've done correctly or what we've learned to do, and that was quite hard to learn those things. So that is where the imposter syndrome born. And such things as the diary of achievements will help you to correct those mistakes from the past and focus your attention on the amount of attempts you take and the amounts of achievements you get. The other important step that I all the time repeat to the clients that I have in my marketing company, and believe me, even if they have 1 million followers on social media, they still might have imposter syndrome. I keep repeating them that idea that even those people who are so brave in a social media and they speak up and they all the time demonstrating their ideas, they try to bring something new to this world, they also have imposter syndrome. They are also so much afraid of a negative feedback from other people. So you are not alone in this. Everybody is struggling with that. Even I, doing all those videos on this channel, still have a negative talk inside me that tells me, oh, Anna, maybe your English is not perfect enough and you will not do that. Maybe you do too many mistakes in English grammar, or maybe your expertise will not be as useful as you might think to those who watch the videos. So everybody is in it. So you're not alone. Just deal with it. The fourth step is try to learn how to avoid comparing yourself with others. The only way to success is when you're not competing with somebody, is when you create your own path to the success. Oh guys, this is extremely great idea that saved me so much of my nervous cells. When I've stopped competing and started to think about competition in a different way, I'm not trying to cut off the competitor. I'm not trying to compare myself with his results. I'm trying to make my own path to the success point because I'm a unique creature. We cannot do the same stuff as our competitors and get with the same way, using the same things to the success points, because we're all unique. That's why one of the ideas of how to transform that imposter syndrome into something that drives you forward is to understand that you are not comparing yourself anymore. There is nobody with whom you can compare yourself, because it's you. Nobody is you in this world except you. Oh, that's too much complicated, but still, that's true. I hope you get the main point. The next step of transformation of your imposter syndrome into something that drives you forward is to keep learning and keep improving your professional skills. Sometimes you really need to upgrade your knowledge. Sometimes people are really not a good experts and they really lack of experience. Lack of cases, individual approach, they do not have that. But they still think, oh, that's imposter syndrome. Not all the time. So you better keep focusing on something that make you more professional. I'm struggling with this spoiled world that some people have no imposter syndrome and have no expertise, but they make a lot of money on online course business because they're just brave enough and confident enough. And others have too much of imposter syndrome and too much of influence of that syndrome on their life and still staying at home and afraid to share their expertise. So we need to balance this somehow. Way out from this situation was to continuously learn something new in my industry. For example, I've just finished one marketing course for top level of marketers, and then next week I'm about to enroll into a new course about self-improvement and how to stay motivated when achieving your goals. This is a continuous educational process. I've talked about that previously in one of my videos. The video was about how to stay motivated when you achieve big goals. I really recommend you to watch it. I've shared a couple good advices on how to stay excited and not to forget about the New Year's resolutions that you do at the beginning of the year and then just forget about them. And the last step, and how you can transform your imposter syndrome into something that drives you forward, and how you can start selling your online courses with passion and drive, is to talk to a professional about your imposter syndrome. Because sometimes it's not enough just to talk to yourself when you're alone. Sometimes we just need a professional help. You can find a life coach, or I better prefer to talk with a psychologist about some fears and some limiting beliefs that I have in my mind. That is really helpful. I've been doing that for many years in a row. I have my personal psychologist that has been supporting me for 3 years in a row by now, and this is a continuous improvement that I'm going through. Maybe that would be a helpful advice for you as well. Let me know in comments, how do you think? Is imposter syndrome is really a huge obstacle for you on the career path? I know that this topic is quite intimate, but maybe this is the time when we need to fight that obstacle in your mind, because you might be a great expert who has a perfect experience and the world might lack of your experience, and we need to create an online course for you and sell it with the big revenues. But before, let's overcome your imposter syndrome. Share your ideas in comments if you have any questions, and if I might help you with some sort of advice, let me know in comments and I will share my feedback. That's it for today, and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.